All right, welcome to the channel. This is the first of weekly live streaming, and we're not doing the live streaming right now just because there's a few little touch-ups that we had to do, and it's going to be up and running probably by tomorrow. So we're almost there. But for now, I'm going to use this, and there's a lot of good features on Zoom. I want to do a screen share and show you guys some of the charts for the week. And something really cool happened, which is that I was listening to one of the teachers that I tune into for astrology, and they said in their class that they don't cover the moon. They're like, when they do the monthly astrology readings, that they don't do the moon, which that kind of hit me because, and the reason was because of how many things happen. There's so many movements of the moon every single month, every single day, that the moon actually has a conversation with all the planets throughout the month. Like every month there'll be a day when moon is with Neptune, when moon is with Pluto. Every single month that's going to occur at least, well, once. And then there's also the squares and the trines and all of that. So what I'm going to focus on here is, of course, the bigger overview of the planetary alignment. So those are more stagnant. For instance, Uranus and Saturn are at a 90-degree angle, and that is going to be for a longer period of time. So I'll briefly mention that for the week. And then some of the other things that are, like on the 3rd, Mars is going to move into Gemini. So that's a big thing. So I'll mention those big things, but I'm also going to really focus on the micro movements of the moon, which relate more with our emotional reality. It's more about, feelings, things that come up that are smaller. But it's like, the way I think of the moon is like, if you're out to sea, and all the little details of what's happening while you're out to sea cause you to maybe change course just a tiny bit every day. You're changing course and making different choices, that over the course of a month or a month, over the course of a moon cycle, you will end up in a completely different. You are the host. Okay, sorry about that. So we're recording. Let's take a minute to call in sacred space. So whatever that means for you. For me, I like to just take a moment to get centered. And to me, getting centered means calling in all the parts of myself, all the little things that I'm thinking about. I know a lot of people will say to throw them out, to like, okay, just leave those, set them off to the side, or whatever. But, and you can do that too. If that works for you, to take everything that you have going on and set it to the side, you can go ahead and do that. I like to bring everything in and give it a place in my spine. So calling in my stuff, all of myself, bringing it into my spine. On your inhales, you're just really gathering and pulling yourself together. On your exhales, you're just allowing the energy to shift and move, allowing the energy to shift and move. I trust my body to know what to do. And in this place, maybe some of that stuff disappears. Maybe stuff does go away, but you don't have to decide which things to set aside or to let go of or anything. Inhaling all of yourself into your spine. On your exhales, I trust my body to know what to do. You know, imagine opening up from the crown of your head, inhaling that information from the sky, from the cosmos, from the planets, the stars. This is light beings from your ascended masters, angels, whatever guidance that you have from that astral realm. You're going to inhale, bring that in, all that light coated energy in through the spine on your inhale. On the exhales, I trust my body to know what to do. So to sort of look like puzzle pieces. When you're bringing that information all the way in, there's places in your body that was just what it needed. It was just what it needed. So it fits together like a puzzle piece. And there's some places where it wasn't needed. And it's trusting my body to know what to do means that you're also, some of that stuff is going to be released. Now, from the base of the spine, the area of the perineum, you imagine opening up, connecting with the earth, below the earth, ancestors, your personal power, your lineage, connecting with your lineage all the way through its non-local source. So connecting to the land that you're from all the lands that your ancestors are from, to its non-local source, meaning beyond, even beyond the place of the deepest that we can think of physically, connecting all the way to that soul level of earth connection. And then on the inhale, bringing that information up, bringing that earth energy up into the spine. On the exhales, I trust my body to know what to do. One more inhale in from the earth. Exhale. Next inhale, you're going to merge above and below, in through the spine. Deep breath in, filling up even the pelvis as you're inhaling. On the exhale, trusting your body to know what to do with all of that energy. All right, so we're going to start off talking about Pisces. Thank you guys for being here. Pisces, it's really an enigma. And if you go off of what you read about Pisces on the internet, you will have an idea that Pisces is a drunk, a whimsical, wimpy mess of crying, really flighty, gone with the wind. My dad used to say, he used to say a fart in the wind, but a feather in the wind, like just really not really grounded at all. There is truth to that. And there's a reason for it, and there's more to it than just that. So let's start off going through this cycle of the seasons where, and just quickly, moving from Capricorn, the knees. Capricorn climbs to the topest peak of the mountain, works hard, gets to that top peak of the mountain. We change into Aquarius season, where we go above that peak of the mountain, gathering that big picture perspective, coming back down to the valley and sharing that with the community, making changes and innovations, standing alone in individuality. It's a lot of energy in Aquarius. There's a lot of energy in all of them, but a different type. Uh, Aquarius is the ankles and the calves. And then from Aquarius, from that big picture perspective and having all this interaction with the whole and wanting to share all this information, Pisces is where water evaporates and rises, turns to mist. It's water in the form of vapor, mist, clouds, and and it's the feet, so the 2 feet, 1 foot stepping toward the end, death, 1 foot stepping toward death, the other foot stepping toward new life, the new beginning. This symbol of the fish also has a lot of other information in it. Um, First of all, we think of that it is also that it's like 2 fish going in opposite directions, one going toward death in the end, the other going toward new life, new beginnings. If you think about this in terms of season, we are just leaving that crisp coldness of Aquarius season. We start to get signs of spring. It's been like 70 here where I live in San Diego. And that um, new life, new hope starts to return. And it's also like a new moon. Pisces season is like a new moon in that it's the ending of the zodiacal year, so the beginning of the zodiacal year. So Pisces is that spot. It would be more like between balsamic and the first crescent that we see. That first crescent that we see is going to be relating with Aries season. But Pisces is that dark spot in between. And when you think about the cycle of the moon and putting Pisces in this section, like everything makes more sense because Pisces is that mystery. It's being in the unknown. The phrase that's coming, being lost, out to sea, surrendering to the whole sea of consciousness. And with that symbol of the fish, we think about the sea of consciousness. We think about 1 foot in the death realm, 1 foot in the life realm. We also think about not just these fish, but the fish representing the whole sea of consciousness, which is also Pisces realm. So during Pisces season, we have this feeling of, so Pisces has gone through from Aries all the way through Aquarius. Pisces is able to empathize, have a feeling of compassion for every single sign of the zodiac. Pisces is like an all encompassing of all of the signs, just like the new moon, the dark of the moon encompasses the whole moon cycle. Just like when we're uh, in our womb, when it's the dark of the womb, all potentials are possible. So in Pisces season, all potentials are possible. This relates with the planet Neptune. And um, I'm just getting through this during March. This will be the last hit of a year-long Neptune initiation. And the phrase that has been really overarching theme is that when there's all these possibilities open to you, it is really hard to know what to do. So it's sort of like a time of confusion, as is Pisces season. It's not quite the end of winter. It's not quite the beginning of spring. We're kind of feeling the vibration. Vibrational healing is also part of Pisces realm. We're feeling that vibration, and it's dark, so you don't know what's going to happen. So this is where that surrendering comes in. Also with this potential. See, right here is where I would pause the video if it weren't on live. Because I had a thought and it just slipped away. So maybe it's not, it is relevant, but maybe it'll come back to me. So, um, all right. So when we're in Pisces season, the thing that we really want to focus on, and the reason why I wanted to cover Pisces before I go into week one, is because of this vast amount of, it is the psychic, it is the empath, it is intuition. Oh, the dream. Thank you. Okay. So um in this layers where we have Earth, and then the planets kind of go out from Moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus, like it goes outward. There's the boundary of Saturn, and then the first planet beyond that boundary is Neptune. And so between Saturn and Neptune, Neptune is the imagination, which paves the pathway for reality, Saturn, for reality to go somewhere. So that dream is Pisces, it is Neptune. And in Pisces season is where we dream. So people are often more sleepy, more reflective, get more introverted, more withdrawn into their own dream. And when you're able to really work with that dream, you're able to pave a pathway for reality to chug along. And at this point, I want to also mention the kidneys, because during Pisces season, although it rules the feet, the dream of your life and the dream that you have at nighttime relates with kidneys. And so there could be kidney issues coming up, and also just generally take care of the kidneys during Pisces season, because that's going to directly impact your ability to dream, your ability to remember dreams. And um, there's foods that go along with that. So kidney beans, black foods, black sesame seeds, black beans, eggplant, all of the black foods. The color of kidneys is black. It has to do with that time between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is when the kidneys, maybe 3 a.m., some, you know what I'm saying, like that late part of the night where the kidneys regenerate themselves. Okay, so I'll go ahead and leave off there. I think you've got a pretty good overview of what Pisces as an archetype is. Some of the modern mythology of Pisces, I mentioned in the beginning of this video, is that Pisces is a drunk, can't keep it together. They're just a crying mess. There's a guy on YouTube, I can't remember his name right now, but oh my God, he does this like 12-minute, it's like a meme video about Pisces. It's like dating a Pisces or something like that. I'll share it on my Instagram sometime during Pisces season, maybe later today, because it's so funny and accurate, but it's not the whole story. It's funny and accurate because I can really relate. And I was born during Pisces season, and I have 5 planets in Pisces, and so I can say, really, is this like because of this, the split, right? Those 2 feet, that foot in death and the foot in life. The foot in death wants to escape. It wants to get out of the embodied experience. And so with that, there is a like drug use, alcoholism, um, whatever's going to take you into that space of, I'll call it mystical. And then there's this other foot in life that's very loving and compassionate, because we have seen the whole circle. We have empathized with every part of the zodiac. And there is a sincere longing to share the gifts and to be medicine, to be medicine for every person, every animal, every situation that shows up in the Pisces realm. The people with strong Pisces have a genuine desire to help to heal, to do anything they can to create a loving, supportive space for all sentient beings. And that can, until you find a way of really embodying your own Pisces nature, wherever Pisces is on your chart, it can be a place of escapism. There's this ecstasy with Pisces where it wants that ecstatic state of non-duality, of merging with whatever it is that it's in relation with or has an opportunity to merge with. So I want to go ahead and get into some of the astrology for the upcoming week. Gather review. And let me see if I can find screen sharing. I've never done it before, but I know it's here. Reactions, pause, chat, participants. All right, so I don't see it. I'm going to pause this. I'm recording. Okay. So now I have here some of the astrology charts. Well, I got all the charts for the week here. I'm going to start off with this one. So let's see. This is today. Actually, I read this today. We have Moon over here in Libra, and Moon is making a 120-degree with Mercury. And again, these are really fast. So what you want to do is look at where is Libra in your chart, and you're going to look at what house position that's in. And this is going to say, okay, so Libra is going through, I'm just going to read what's here, even though it's probably a different chart for you. Libra is going through my 6th house. Actually, it is in my 6th house. So I'm going to have more attention. I maybe am asking for help with things that have to do with 6th house things, health, my routines. And then Libra, when I'm saying asking for help, is because Libra wants to be relational. So when Moon is going through Libra, it has this relational, like the focus goes toward how can I relate? And you see this whole community of people, it's like a round table. So Moon in Libra, where our focus is conscious, co-creative partnerships. And then when we see that it's also at a 120-degree angle with Mercury, these are both air signs. It's a great day for communication, talking about whatever things you have going on relationally, especially with your beloveds, with the people that are closest to you. Because Moon, again, remember, it's our emotional. So as it moves through the signs, our heart, our emotions, our body, our dreams are also moving through these different expressions. We can only see your files. We cannot see the chart. Oh, whoa. Okay, let's see. All right, so thank you so much, Erica. You are amazing. So here is Moon in Libra. And what you're going to do is just look for what house that's in for you on your chart. So if you're looking at, usually it'll have the day out here in this outer circle, and it'll have your chart in the middle so you can see where Moon is hitting. I'll get into that in another video if you don't know how to look at the transits for yourself. So, okay, anyway, there's Moon. I discussed that in relation with Mercury there. So that's today. There's also, we're already past this. And so that's the reason I think people don't really pay attention to the Moon, because the movements are so small. But in the early hours of the morning, late last night, Moon and Chiron were in an opposition. So you may have had something some chirotic experiences happening, maybe in your dreams. I had one of my friends do a shamanic healing session on me in my dream, which I woke up and was able to remember parts of what she said. And so that moon opposite Chiron was made available in that way for me in the late hours of last night, early hours of this morning. I feel like sometimes with moon stuff, you may have a conscious awareness of it and you may not. And if you don't, okay, it still happened. Even the dreams that you don't remember, they still happened. So, other things that we have going on right now, Saturn and Uranus, they had their exact square earlier in February, and it's still being felt. February was a very intense month because of this square between Uranus and Saturn. That is something that's going to be an ongoing experience for all of 2020. This is actually a highlight piece for 2020. So Uranus is a change agent. It means to, it's like Prometheus stealing fire from the gods. So it has this radical action that doesn't care about anything else except for liberation, freedom for the people, the masses, unification, and freedom. So when that's at a 90-degree angle with Saturn, who's known as the taskmaster, who wants tradition and wants things to be held as a sacred container. True Saturn is the elders who are holding sacred container for traditions, and has been co-opted. It's we're taking it back, but it was to government, which became a container that ruled people. This is like the tribal elders getting slaughtered and then turned into you know, a government system. And not saying that that has happened everywhere in the world. Definitely has happened on a large, for us in America. I mean, I feel like I know that there still are the circle of grandmothers in places that are still holding together their traditions and all of that, but in a larger sense, um, that's a whole nother topic, because your inner Saturn still is the authority. You still have the circle of grandmothers. You still have authority over your life. And it's just a way of viewing the world that we're able to like really connect with our inner authority, Saturn, and really connecting with our inner wild, um, Prometheus, who you can see they don't get along at all. They're very, even without this 90-degree angle, they're like, it's like Zeus and Prometheus. And Zeus is like, what the hell? This is my realm. And Prometheus is like, well, I'm stealing fire and giving it to humans so they have a chance at freedom from your tyranny. And so inside of ourselves, this process is going on too. This process of like, my structure, I have this thing. And first of all, is it your structure, or did you just adopt somebody else's structure? Did you just adopt somebody else's? By virtue of being born, we're already born into a religion, into our, like, what we look like and what our family says, and like, we just grow up thinking that that's how it is. So Prometheus, Uranus is asking us to electrify all of that, pick out what is true, let the rest of it like go with God, go somewhere else. It's like not bad, but you don't need that. And to start to build a life of flexible freedom, and so you still will have the boundary of Saturn. You still have that in you, but that you're able to find a way that your inner authority and your wild, um, this is like, when you're a self-employed person and you are making your rules for your business, but you're also like at the same time like, fuck the rules. But you have to find a way to like, okay, I'm gonna do these rules with this addendum to the rules, which is that, you know, whatever it is for you. So you want to look at where this is happening in your chart, because this is where the shit is really hitting the fan in your life right now. And it's hitting the fan because of there is a real need for evolution, for change, and to completely forget the past. And I know this might sound drastic, so forgive me, because words are very limiting. But to like wipe all that slate completely clean and go this way and moving forward with no reference point based in your past. So we're moving forward with no reference point based in the past. And now we're really alive. We're really living, making choices based off of good. I don't know what was this and how's that. We're not using that past anymore as the reference point. Well, every time I did that before, this thing happened. Well, people were always like this, and we're not doing that anymore. That's what this 90-degree angle is about. And where it's where it's happening on your chart is where the material is. So I'll give an example. This Saturn is exact on my natal Venus, and then this Uranus is exact on my natal Chiron. So that angle, I always have it, but now it's being, it's like getting this, like, you will change. You will know yourself as a free being, but you also have to keep doing your, being your inner authority. So it's like trying to find how to be fully free while also rebuilding some sense of authorship of your life. Okay, so that was a lot for today. Sun is at 11 degrees Pisces. We do have a kind of a lull between this and I think it's until the 3rd, but I'm going to see if I can pull up. It was the first. Let's look at the second day of this. We got Astro 2. Do you see that? I feel like that doesn't show.
No, we can't see it. I think you need to open the other tab.
Okay. Photos. Oh, okay. This thing is what I need to grab. Okay. Woohoo! Okay, so and then tomorrow, Moon will still be in Libra, but leaving. And the thing that's important about tomorrow is that this 90-degree angle. So anytime Moon makes aspects with Pluto, I feel it. You may not, and maybe sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. This is will start happening in the earlier hours of tomorrow morning. And with the moon, it's definitely within that 10-degree angle that you'll still Recording, sound on, you're using audio. Okay, looks like we're good. Okay, so the work with this 90-degree square is to notice when you feel, I will call it victim mentality, where you feel like kind of you want to cower, and then feeling where cowering turns into courage, where you're able to feel things and go face it and do it anyway. There's like this inner genius that you have to kind of, it's not a have to, though. It's like something you can't force doing. It's like, I think in the sense of being able to really feel the fear, that we're able to find where, oh Lord, um, we're able to find where the power is. And it doesn't happen by force, by forcing it to happen. Okay, screen sharing has stopped and the window has closed. Wow, this is definitely not easy. All right. Is this it? Screen sharing. Well, I would like to get back to looking at those charts for the week. Maybe it's here. Yeah. Okay. So we got Pluto, and then we have Moon doing that. Moon is at a 90-degree angle. I'll go ahead and go into the next day. So on the third day, I think that will be March 3rd. I think this is when we have another planetary thing happening. So let's X off that. Okay, so here we have Moon in Scorpio. Always a good day when Moon is in Scorpio, because Scorpio is water in the form of ice, or you can also think of Scorpio as the deepest part, the deepest layer of the ocean. It's stillness, water in the form of ice, water in the form of the deepest part of the body of water, ocean or lake. There's movement down there. It's very dark and deep. And Moon is going to be making an opposition with Uranus in the early part of the morning. Uh, when Moon and Uranus are in opposition, it can be something stimulating radical change in the realms of your emotions. Also, with Moon and Scorpio, something that is deep and frozen. In people's bodies, oftentimes there'll be parts that feel like frozen water, that feel like a frozen lake. You can ice skate on it. And this is areas of a lot of emotional things being held. So look at what houses these are for you, and then see what other planets you have nearby. And this is going to be, and it is short, it's a few hours of a day that you'll notice it more intensely. And it's, I would say that it goes through a whole day, because Moon is going to be moving about 13 degrees per day. And we use a 10-degree orb for something to be felt, that it'll still be a felt thing. So we have that. And the thing I want to mention here is that, oh, maybe that's tomorrow. So I think it's on, no, I think it is on the 3rd. It's just later on in the day. This is for 9:33 a.m. But later in this day, on the 3rd, Mars moves into Gemini. So anytime that a planet moves into another sign, it's sort of like a big, um, even when it moves a degree, there is a ripple that's made. So as Mars moves into Gemini, the work here is to know that um, Mars in Gemini likes things to be fast, short trips, meeting people, but it's not for the long term. It's not for the long haul. It's for immediate gratification of fun, creativity, playfulness, getting a new scenery. And Mars is about our physical body, our energy, the ability to act, to move and take action. So as Mars moves into Gemini, there is this movement to creative, spontaneous fun, taking short trips, changing our mind, changing our scenery in order to change our mind and our mental computer, like the computing that happens between the physical body's action and our perception of reality, which is Gemini's realm. So that's happening third. There's no major changes here. You can see the moon at a 90-degree angle with the sun. So what is that? After full moon, now we're getting into the waning gibbous. So this, I think now between today is the last full day, the full days. So today doing those last full moon things, and then tomorrow, between tomorrow and March 3rd, you might want to start setting into action your disseminating the altar that you have for your moon. I'm already starting to think of this for myself. I have like a big thing that I want to do work on, to release and to clear, but I'm thinking about waiting until so I would set into motion with a candle or something like that, probably on this Scorpio moon, when the moon is in Scorpio. Whatever it is that you're wanting to release, to let go of, habits you want to break, thing like that, you will set that into motion. And then as the moon gets more and more waning, you might clarify more and more clearly what it is that you are asking to decrease, and listening as you go along to, because there might be other things that need to go before you can decrease that main thing that you're wanting to let go of. Oh, we have a really exciting new moon coming up, but I think that week we'll talk about that. But just to give you a little heads up, the new moon, which is on the 12th, Sun, Neptune, and Venus, and the Sun and the Moon will all be together here in Pisces. I think it's 23 degrees, Sun and Moon at 23. Venus will be at 19. Neptune is going to be at 20. It's going to be a really powerful. So I'm kind of waiting till closer to that new phase to really drop like this big, huge candle with this, it's like a lot of work in that candle. And I'm thinking I'm going to wait closer to then to really focus on that release phase. Okay, so let's go to March 4th. See what we have on March 4th. Okay, moon leaving Scorpio, moving into Sag on March 4th. You can still see this is going to be for a while because it's not going to go out of this 10-degree range so soon. Uranus and Saturn. There's going to be another exact hit of Uranus and Saturn June 14th or June 17th, somewhere around there. And then the third hit is on December 24th. So this is an ongoing thing that we're going to be feeling, and it's not letting up in these earlier parts of March. So we're still really on this electrifying change. You could see Mars over here in Gemini on the 4th. Pluto has moved 1 degree, which is huge because Pluto hasn't been in this area of the chart. I read that it was in the 1700s since Pluto has been in Capricorn in these late degrees. The threshold was 25 and it hadn't gone beyond 25. So we're really in new territory with this Pluto transformation so wherever this is at on your chart, I would really make you probably are feeling it anyway. When you make a note of like, where is Pluto on your chart? What other planets are around it? What house is it in? And just see what's going on there for you. This is March 4th. Let's look at the 5th. All right. So now on the 5th, moon is approaching and will be exact with the south node. Every time moon and south together, it's this day of like, I think of it as dropping down into your soul, food, your roots, your old, like, oh, it feels so good, but it's so not where I'm going in my life. It's kind of like the day I want to listen to Tupac, or I'll be like, maybe want to have a drink, thing that's like from my past, something that is what it's like comforting in this weird, like almost toxic way. The South Node is your karmic patterning, your conditioning. And every time the moon transits the South Node, there is this little like laying back in your past. And it's fine. I mean, the thing is, like, as long as it's a conscious choice that you know this is happening, and if you feel the pull to like, oh, I just want to lay down and watch Tupac in Poetic Justice. I know every single word. There's no positive, progressive, forward movement for me to do that, but it would just feel so good. So you might, and also depending upon where this is on your chart, because the South Node, whatever you have at about 15 degrees of Sagittarius, is already being worked with that South Node, really like compiling all of the things from your past, really feeling all of your karmic patterning and conditioning. And then there's always North. So we always have a choice of either sitting in that. And sometimes when the moon transits, I feel like it's a moment of choice of like, do I want to go revisit that? Or do I just want to acknowledge that it's there and make a choice to do something else? Which in this case, do something opposite. Over here with a North Node in Gemini, to a museum, go create something, be spontaneous, new, go make a mess, making silly putty or slime or whatever it is. If you have kids at homeschool, we're doing that. Like, all right, I guess we can just go make some slime rather than go over here and be all like in our past philosophy for life. So that's coming up. That'll be on March 5th. Moon at 11. So it's also going to be making a perfect square, a 90-degree angle with Pisces. 90-degree angles are challenging. So I feel like whenever Moon and Pisces are at a 90-degree angle, the challenge is more like, and this is just, it's like metaphorical. It's not literal. Do I my dream of myself and be in my emotions and just, it's really like a dark inward subjective reality? Or do I find a way to enjoy the beauty and the pleasure and experience the gifts of being on earth? This 90-degree angle is like wanting us to find a way to do both. And they're both not bad, but 90 degrees are thought of as like it is a challenging thing. But it's like the challenge is like either way you win. Between Moon and Venus, they're both so lovely. So it's not really challenging, I don't feel like. But maybe with in noticing the challenge between Moon and Venus, maybe something else will come of that. There's always, with the 90-degree angles, a third thing, which is not quite what's on this end of the 90-degree and not quite what's on this end. It's like the alchemy between those two things. I might be missing things here going over the week, but Moon, let's go ahead and move on to the next. That's March 6th. Okay, so let's see what's on the March 6th. Moon is leaving Sagittarius. And so between the 5th and the 6th, we're going to have Moon at a challenging 90-degree angle with Sun and Neptune. So all within between the 5th and the 6th, Moon making a 90-degree angle with Sun and with Neptune. So we're getting closer to the new moon. This is from the waning. You'll see in the sky a quarter. And let's see, when was it? Okay, so we're halfway. We're halfway to, there's like another 6 more days until the new moon at this point. So this is where you'll definitely want to be getting ready to do that, whatever that big work that you have for the new moon. you want to start putting that into motion now. Whatever the big work is for releasing habits, releasing your patterns, getting rid of things and people or whatever. If you're in the manifestation course, there's more detailed guidance on that. And we'll talk about it definitely in next week's reading, because we're going to cover the new moon at that time. All right. Let's look at, that's March 6th. Anything else? Moon making that 90-degree angle. So see what house that's in for you. I don't think that's very, it's not super crucial. Moon moves into Capricorn on Sunday, March 7th. Moon in Capricorn, and we have this 90-degree angle with Chiron. I always feel like those 90-degree angle, moon to Chiron, I feel something. And you may or may not, but notice where this is on your chart, because as moon makes 90-degree angles with Chiron, it does irritate, which irritation is a form of, you can call it a trigger. It brings out, by force of a trigger, your wounds. Your wounds are also your medicine. I always feel weird calling Chiron the wounded healer. I feel like Chiron is the shamanic healer. Chiron is the alchemist. So with the moon hitting a 90-degree angle with Chiron, we may notice where we are gifted. We may notice more where our talent is in, and our because while Chiron represents the body, Chiron also represents our we call it vrittis, or mind waves, the creases that have been made through our life experience. Little creases mean like different pathways that we have created, these different pathways because of things that have happened in life. You may say traumatic or ecstatic experiences that cause us to be in a pattern. So when moon and Chiron make a 90-degree angle, those triggers come up, and we can be conscious and deliberate about making a choice rather than acting on autopilot with how we handle our wounds. So you can see Venus getting closer to the sun there. Saturn's on the midheaven just at that moment. And I think that's it. So I'll go ahead and close with that. March 7th, moon in Capricorn. I will just say that as this day goes on and as we move into March 8th, moon will be making a conjunction with Pluto. And I think that's it. So thank you so much for joining me on this first trial run. Just wait for the real trial when we've got Mr. Spinks, Michael Spinks. He's a genius, and he's working on our live stream right now, so that next time you log straight into Mystic Source School, you're going to log into the channel, and when you click on the class, let me see if I can. When you click on the class right here, I don't know if this is still screen sharing. It'll show up right in here, the live stream. So that's going to be fun and exciting. So thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Oh, actually, do you guys have any questions?